But afterwards, that God could be tender and love. Oh yeah. That God could understand the struggle it is. Notice the gospel today. That when the Lord talks about going out and preaching, he doesn't talk about, and this is how you deal with the throngs who say yes and dance and say, I'm in. He talks about how you deal with all the opposition, with the demons that oppose you, with the anger that comes at you, with the poison they give you, with the snakes they put on you. How you'll be triumphant even in that. That's the ascension. Today is the day, not for people who want a cheap Easter. It isn't going to work. It's the day, rather, for people who say, I'm not able to live this Christian life without falling. This is your day. It's the day for people who are trying to live a good life as a Christian in my elementary school, my primary school, my middle school, my college, my high school, and know that the minute you do that, you are going to be set apart from other kids. You are. But that you have a God who knows that too, and never ever leaves you alone. This is the day for the person deep in depression who wonders if they will ever get out of it. Will they ever see the other side to where life is beautiful again? This is the day where the Lord, crying forth from the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me, can also say to you, it is finished now. Come forward. This is the day when the crucified King brings all of the suffering of the innocent lamb into the triumphant Shekinah of God and says, now, I confirm everyone on the journey, no matter where you are, no matter what you face. You see, my sister would understand this because she lived that crucifixion. She understood it. My sister didn't always experience the resurrection. But she told me once that she lived on the Eastern Shore, she was walking on the beach, and she told me once she was out there, it was in the middle of winter, and no one was there, and Jesus came walking down the beach to her. And they sat on the beach, and he talked to her, and he showed her his wounds, and told her not to be afraid of anything. And everybody laughed and rolled their eyes and said, great, now she's hallucinogenic, that's terrific. And I thought, that's beautiful, Maureen. And then to myself, how come you never appear to me? Because I really did appear to her. My sister wasn't perfect, far from it. She wreaked havoc in her life. She was a shipwreck waiting to happen. But she had her hands around the suffering Christ, so much that they became conformed to his hands. So are they conformed to the resurrection? Sure. And so is anybody else's in this room who's had to forgive a lover who's hurt them, who's had to stand up before friends and say no or yes to the gospel in front of them when they don't want to, who's had to defend another person in the midst of vicious arguments and character assassination and had it all turn on themselves. So would anyone else who doesn't know what to do with a child that's out of control or a parent who never listens, who sits by the phone waiting for a call or at the mailbox waiting for a letter that never comes. So does every single person whose spouse is deployed far, far away and goes to bed every single night praying the phone does not ring. This is your feast day. This is the feast where the risen one brings all of that hurt and transforms it into glory and promises you will never be left. And anyone who holds the crucifixion will see the resurrection and know the ascended King is as close as your next breath, as paint on a barn door, as my grandmother would say. My sister is in heaven, I believe. And when I come to meet her, may it be a long time, hence I've got lots to do. When I come to meet her, I don't know, maybe she will be completely different in her resurrected body. Or maybe it will just be Maureen. And the only one that heaven changes is the people who looked at her and didn't like what they saw. Maybe we'll change. Because I'm not sure God needed to make Maureen more beautiful. me or see me. Praise the Ascended One forever and ever.